Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful philosophy, one that offers a pretty radical solution to a problem I think so many of us feel, that our world just seems fractured, kind of out of balance. This is the incredible vision of Pandit Sriram Sharma Acharya. So, what we're exploring today is a summary of the Hindi book Hum Badlen to Yog Badle. And that title, well, it translates to If We Change, the Era Changes. A message that, honestly, feels more relevant right now than maybe ever before. So let's start with that feeling, a feeling that I'm sure a lot of us share. You look around and you get this sense that things are off, that selfishness is on the rise, and our collective moral compass is just spinning. Why is that? And maybe more importantly, what on earth can we do about it? All right, here's the journey we're gonna take. We'll start by looking at this world out of balance. Then we'll dig into the cause, this idea called the law of divine correction, and meet the players in the three paths of humanity. We'll see how this is all leading to a coming battle of ideals before we finally get to the solution. If we change, the era changes. And wrap it all up with a big takeaway, understanding your inner power. Okay, first up, Section 1, a world out of balance. Let's really diagnose the problem by looking at the symptoms all around us. Now, according to this philosophy, all these things we see, the rampant selfishness, conflict bubbling up everywhere, the slip in ethics, even natural disasters and this feeling of anxiety that's just pervasive, these aren't just random, disconnected events. They're all symptoms of a single, really deep imbalance that's rooted in our own thoughts and actions. And that imbalance brings us to a really core concept from the book. This idea of a kind of cosmic balancing act called divine correction. Okay, so think of the universe like a teacher. At first, it tries to be gentle, right? It sends sages, scriptures, moral lessons to guide us. If that doesn't quite get through, it steps it up with societal laws and punishments. If humanity still ignores the rules, then nature itself starts to respond with floods, quakes, famines. And when all else fails, the final step is divine intervention, a forceful cosmic reset, kind of like what was described in the epic of the Mahabharata. It's a scale of correction that just keeps escalating. The book uses this incredible metaphor for this. The universe always prefers the gentle path, right? The straight finger of persuasion. But if that doesn't work, it has to use the forceful path, the bent finger to get the job done, just like you have to bend your finger to scoop out ghee from a jar. Force, then, becomes the absolute last resort to fix a world that just won't change on its own. And this is absolutely crucial. It's not just about the people who are actively doing wrong. This cosmic law holds everyone accountable. It argues that just standing by, being indifferent, is also an offense. I mean, think about it. If your neighbor's house is on fire and you just stand there and watch, you're part of the problem. In this view, apathy is a sin, because we all share this collective responsibility for the world we live in.
So, who are the players in this huge cosmic drama? Well, Section 3 breaks down all of humanity into three fundamental types.
First up, we have the Nar-Pashu, which translates to the human animal. And this is described as the biggest chunk of humanity. Now, these people aren't evil or bad, not at all, but they're passive. They're living by instinct, focused on survival, eating, paying the bills, just getting through the day with no real higher purpose. They kind of contribute to the world's inertia, that resistance to any real positive change. Then you have the Nar-Pishak, the human demon. This is where simple selfishness evolves into something actively malicious. But, and the book makes this critical distinction, this isn't just about your stereotypical violent criminal. No, the modern demon is often really sophisticated, working right inside the system. Think about the corrupt executive, the businessman who profits from addiction, the exploiter who hides behind this mask of respectability. This refined evil is way more dangerous. And finally, of course, there's the Dev, or the divine human. These are the people who are driven by generosity, self-control, and a real, genuine desire to serve other people. They are the force for good. And the key thing here is that this has nothing to do with how you look or how much money you have. It's all about your inner state, your motivations, your actions, that decides if you are a force for good or for ill. So we have these three forces all at play in the world, and that leads us straight to the turning point, Section 4, the coming battle of ideals. See, the book totally reframes the whole idea of a great war. The real Devasura Sangram, that epic battle between gods and demons, it's not fought with armies on some battlefield. No, it's a clash of values, of ideologies, and it's happening right now, inside every single one of us and all throughout our society. It's the ultimate battle between selfishness and selflessness.
And if we look at the state of this battle today, it can seem, well, pretty discouraging. The demonic side, the asurita, it seems loud, organized, and powerful, right? It's gathered all these resources through selfishness and exploitation. Meanwhile, that divine potential in people, the devatva, it often seems quiet, scattered, dormant. Kind of like grass that's been scorched in the summer heat, just waiting for the rain to come.
But here, this is where the philosophy offers some incredible hope. All this pressure that's building up in the world, that's not the end, it's the catalyst. And that brings us to the solution. If we change, the era changes.
This is the absolute core of the solution. The crisis isn't the end, it's the beginning of the cure. Think of it like this. A high fever feels awful, but it's actually the body's way of fighting off a serious infection. In the same way, the intense pressure of global suffering is the very thing that acts as a catalyst. It's forcing a kind of spiritual immune response, waking up that dormant divinity inside people. Okay, so what does this awakening actually look like in practice? It's really a three-step process. First, individuals have to look inward and awaken their own divine nature, their capacity for kindness, service, and courage. Second, they have to find and unite with other people who are doing the same thing. Because, a scattered force is no force at all. And third, this united group has to actively push back against the negativity in the world with positive, virtuous action.
And this brings us right to our final section, where this entire massive cosmic vision comes down to one single, powerful, and deeply personal takeaway. After fearing all of this, cosmic laws, battles of ideals, it might feel a little overwhelming. You might be thinking, what can I possibly do about all that? But the philosophy is so clear on this point. The universe is not asking you to carry the entire weight of the world on your shoulders. It asks you to change yourself. That's the secret. To awaken the divine that's already within you. To shift your own thinking from selfishness to service, from apathy to action. Why? Because individual transformation is the seed from which global transformation grows. When enough individuals change, a tipping point is reached, and the whole era shifts. If we change, the era changes. And so this whole deep dive really leaves us with one profound question to reflect on. It's not about judging the world out there, but about looking in here. What divine potential, what capacity for kindness, for courage, for service is just waiting to awaken within you?